What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be doing an update. This came from a comment saying, hey, let's do an update on the guy who did about 52-ish thousand dollars in premium selling covered puts in American Airlines and a couple cruise lines. So if you're not familiar with what this is basically a YOLO theta bet. Not many of these have been around on Wallstreetbets because it's usually just people just buying straight calls and they're going up 10 times in value and overnight. This one is a little bit more longer grinding churn, but the amount of capital that was put forth for the risk to reward is a little bit different than a call. So to kind of sum things up, this JMD 2004 basically put down, I think he did a nice little analysis here on this little spreadsheet here, putting down basically $150,000 in capital for to collect a premium of about $36-ish thousand. So basically he's betting that like Norwegian Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Line, and then American Airlines stocks will be rebounding. So he's betting it, he's buying the bottom. Instead of buying the put, he's selling the put, and then having the right to get the cash up front, and potentially will hold it until expiration, where the theta will just kick in, the time decay, and he initially could get all $56,000, but most of the times people get out or so forth, sell at the 80 or 85 percentile. So basically we're going to be looking at the updated stuff on what the puts are currently trading at. Is he making money? Is he losing money? And so forth. And what is the probability of these puts still staying out of the money? In the worst case, if the market does fall and crash and these stocks get hit again, the value could go down substantially. And since they are quite far out there in 2022 and 2021, he won't be exercised these contracts yet, but if the time comes basically 20 months from now and they get exercised, then he has the right to buy those shares at that given price at $250 and so forth. All right, let's go back here and we're going to look at basically, we can look at our some cruise lines here. Let's go from the top actually. Let's go with CCL. So what he did, he sold the $2.50 put and the $5 put, both expiring basically 20 months from now. So let's pop over this, and we're gonna go to CCL, and then sorry, wrong screen, go here, and basically he bought nearly a month ago. So when was that post? That was 26 days ago, and this shows the date of, it does not show the date on here, shoot. So just 26 days. So basically we're just going to say the beginning of April. So the beginning of April, basically here he bought at the super low of Carnival Cruise Line, basically trading in or around the $7 and $8 range. So let's go ahead and look to the trade tab here and click on these options. So he sold the $2.50 and the $5 put. So initially the $2.50 put is now trading about 50 cents, 55 cents depending on the spread, and then the $5 trading for about $1.50 as well. So let's go ahead and check back on what he actually bought those for. So he's actually sold the first one for 50 cents and the other one for, so he's basically up about 50%. He's made 50% back his money. So the initial $52,000, once we go through all this, is probably going to equate to about $22,000 to $23,000 he's already made in a month, risking $150,000 of capital. Next is going to be AAL. So he bought the $3 put, expiring January 21, 2022 for $1.02. So let's go here, pull up AAL. Actually, let's look at the chart first. So again, beginning of April, he literally bought the week of a extreme low Basically, it bottomed around $9. And he bought the really low price. I think it was a buck for, he bought a $3 put. So let's go ahead and see what he is currently making. I'm gonna guess it's probably be around 50% as well. So he sold it for, ooh, this is interesting. Oh, the wrong month. I did the wrong option change. So $3, so it's about 60 cents now. So he's literally made 40% of his money back on that particular put option. Not bad, right? That's really good. Again, this is the power of theta decay on top of the continued move higher of AAL and getting the government bailout. Basically from the 9 all the way up to 12. It has been kind of grinding sideways, but it's kind of been on a slow churn higher here. So this is a good call for him moving forward. Then let's go to the next one, which is going to be, I think it's Royal Caribbean. So this is going to be, he sold the $12.50 put for about $5.83. Okay, so RCL, there we go. And again, it kind of looks exactly like all the other cruise lines on the chart analysis here. Kind of bottoming basically when he bought these in the beginning of April. Kind of had a nice kick higher, and now just been kind of grinding the 21 on the daily average, daily moving average, and then kind of popping off the last 2 or 3 days. So nice trade for him for sure. So I have short-term memory loss, and what did he buy? He bought the 1250 put for $5.83. 1250 put. So he bought this very bottom. Oh wow, he's made. Did he buy it in 2021 or 2022? 2022. My bad, guys. I was like, my God, that was a heck of a trade there. He's up there more than probably about 50%. So it's around, let's just say 350. And he bought it for around a little over 580-ish. So he's, again, 50% back initially of his, maybe, close to 40% back. So he's made 40% of his investment back from this particular call in just a month. So this is the power of the overall theta analysis. So if he would have just bought a longer dated call, that could have been a lot more risky in the sense of being a probability of profit is going to be substantially lower on that end. Then I think the last one was Norwegian, right? Yeah. NCLH. Let's go. NCLH. And this chart's going to look nearly exactly the same. Basically bottoming in March, kind of rallying up, and then kind of hitting a low again in the beginning of April, and kind of grinding higher. Then the last 2 or 3 days breaking out for a potential rally or a continue push higher. That being said, then he bought, I think it was a 250, right? The 250 on the 2022s. Let's go here. He bought the 250 on the 2022, so the bottom sold them for $1.35. They're basically trading around 60 cents, so he's made back quite a bit of change on that particular call already, well over 50% there. And then the 2021s, I think he sold the 5s for those, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nope, 250 as well, and he sold those for 85 cents, and now they're around 40 cents. Again, nice little change there, 50% profit right there. You could easily just get out of these contracts and easily have just walk away with his 25K in profit on these different various bets and start selling longer dated other puts, or continue to hold the position to collect that theta and initially get that $52,000 in premium once expiration starts coming around. So that is basically the summary in the new YOLO theta bet. I'd like to see more of these on Wall Street Bets because again, it's a pretty large amount of capital. Again, he's spending well over $150,000 to place these bets, but he's limiting his downside risk to the initially of collecting the stock if it comes to execution, and then on top of having the potential of theoretically buying the lows and the likelihood of the government coming in and helping a lot of these businesses out, it was a very thought out and more of an educational play. Like, it's not a real, I don't believe, a real true Wall Street Bets mentality of just throwing money at it. It was actually well thought out. It was risky at the time because we just didn't know if these cruise lines are going to fail. We still don't honestly know. So if I was him, I would just take my little bit of profit, aka a little bit by being 25K and just getting out. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, we have a live stream coming tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That is PM, and love to see you guys there. We're just going to talk stocks, recap the week, and see what the next week will come, and just have a great time and just talk about stocks, options, and so forth. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.